Good afternoon. Welcome to Salford Lads Club. It's part 2 of Live at the Lads Club. And we've got special guests on today we'll bring on shortly. But before we start the circus, I'd like to mention a few people who've been helpful and others who've not been so helpful, and name and shame them. I'd like to thank Sharon Halsall for her good words, Phil Portus, photographer, Neil Halsall and Ian Huff. Now, those are both living in America. So by the time this has been broadcast, Ice might have been kicking the door down and dragging them out. We'll see. Christine Egg Beckett and my cousin Francesca Flynn, who lives in Australia, they're watching. Mike Duff, the poet, he's coming on a couple of weeks' time. He's just marvellous. And the most bizarre one, a lady asked would we mention a cat, a 3-legged cat called Stevie Wonder, who apparently watched the show last week. For some reason, was mesmerised by it. So cheers, Stevie, for watching. A few people again. We've got Adele Kingston and Neil Anderson. They've got an exhibition on at Langworthy Cornerstone of their artwork. Well worth calling in for. Salford Arts Theatre. Should always support your local arts. Next Sunday, this coming Sunday, it's the Women's International Day. I'm not making any jokes on that, obviously. And if you get a chance, call in at Salford Museum and Art Gallery for their 100 exhibits exhibition. It's 100 exhibits from their archives, some fantastic stuff. Walter Crane tiles, there's Geoffrey Key artwork, there's so many diverse exhibits. Please go and watch it. And if you wish to contact us with money, death threats, bribes, or you wish to be on the show or anything helpful, contact us on newsdesk@salfordmedia.co.uk. I think that's everyone paid off. Today's first guest, Martin O'Neill, photographer, all the way from France, Martin.
Bonjour.
Jetted in at his own expense.
Yes, thank you, Ryanair.
It's fair to say I've known you a few years, Martin.
A few years, yes. Yeah. The best years of my life.
Now, would it be fair to say you were 13, 14, St. Pat's? Was that your first steps into the world of photography, the camera club?
Exactly that. I went to St. Pat's in the 3rd year for reasons, and they started a camera club.
Right.
And it was for 4th and 5th years. I don't know how that translates these days.
No.
But I was the 3rd year, and for some reason I begged and pleaded to be allowed to join this camera club. And by the end of it, I had the key to the dark room, because even the teachers had got fed up with it. But that kicked me off, and I just thought, I want to be a press photographer.
And your dream came true?
And the dream came true, yeah. Pursued it, managed to get start freelancing for the Eccles Journal. Good old Barry Lees.
Very well, yeah.
He started giving me work. And then Eddie Shah, rest in peace. He gave me my first job on a newspaper when I was 18.
Was that Warrington?
It was the Sale and Altrincham Messenger group.
Yeah.
So I covered as far afield as Stockport and Urmston.
I think it'd be fair to say that your first signs of recognition were the Bowden Vale Youth Club photos. I mean, are you sick of that question?
No, not at all. It's nice that people remember it.
Tell us about what that event was that day. In the evening, actually.
Bowden Vale Youth Club. I think the chap was Bob Jefferson, who had the Streets Ahead in Altrincham, a record shop.
Yeah.
And he started a series of gigs for local bands. I was then working for the Messenger Group, but I used to go just for myself on these Wednesday nights, I think they were, to photograph these bands and make them famous. So the Fast Cars were on.
Freshies.
The Freshies were on, V2, and this band called Joy Division. And there was something special about them. I can't be honest and say I knew all about them, but there was something special about them that night, to the extent that I shot 2 rolls of film. 72 shots. Wow. Yeah. And then went to the newspaper the next day, and the newspaper didn't want to know about them. So they went into a drawer, and there they stayed for the next 25 years.
That's bizarre, that, isn't it? Was it for Ian Curtis's anniversary of his death?
Yes,
exhibition?
it was the 25th anniversary, and I wanted to mark the occasion. So I was searching for Bowden Vale Youth Club, which, as far as I know, is now a spa or something, and not a
Health spa
wellness.
shop.
Get your breath in. Yeah. So the nearest place I could find to exhibit was Hale Library.
Right.
And I think they offered me 5 days or something. And one of those was a voting day, so we had to take them down. But that kicked them off then, and put them out to the wider world.
He also did the Smiths appreciate. Oh, they're quite
Smith,
iconic photographs, those aren't they?
Well, I've got
Everything's
one on my-
iconic now, isn't it? The
Yeah,
iconic
iconic.
Salford Lads Youth Club, the iconic Joy Division.
the
Did
iconic
you get-
Tony Flynn.
Yeah, ironic. Was Japan? Tell us about that with the photographs.
Joy Division again. I literally got a phone call one day from a Japanese chap who said, could he put the photographs on in Tokyo? And of course, I was very flattered, as I am to be on this show. by the way.
Obviously, yeah.
And he said, "Well, great. I'll come and have a chat." And I thought, well, it's a long way to come. And he said, "No, I'm not in Tokyo. I'm in Paris." So he flew over from Paris. I picked him up at Manchester Airport. We went into Piccadilly for a coffee.
Yeah.
Got it all written down. Took him back to the airport, and he went back to Paris. But then months later, this exhibition went on, and so I got to go to Tokyo and sign autographs.
Big in Japan.
Big in Japan.
You've got to say that, haven't we?
Well, I was taller than most of them, if that makes any sense, without being racist.
Did you get a T-shirt range and all the
I
fritters
did.
with it?
I did. Yeah. A company called Lad Musician. They've now put 2 ranges of T-shirts out. They're quite expensive. I mean, I can't afford to buy one. So,
It's just your image.
yeah, they'll have sent me a few. So, and they're all size, super
Yeah.
massive.
That's it's a nice little earner without being too facetious.
Yeah, I mean, I've got a friend that's very cynical and says, "Thank God Ian Curtis died, or else that nothing would have come of these photographs."
Well, yeah,
which
he's got a point, hasn't he?
there is that angle.
You've had several exhibitions, haven't you, as well as People's History Museum.
I had an exhibition there
Eccles.
of Eccles. Yeah,
I covered that one at 2013.
that long ago, is it?
It was, yeah.
Good grief.
Because I remember at the exhibition, the great photographs of Eccles and people we knew. You had photographs on pegs like a washing line thing. Do you
Yeah,
remember that?
the People's History Museum.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
Eccles. Yeah, I was very
Yes.
impressed with that.
Yeah, I couldn't afford frames.
No, you've captured some stunning images of Eccles precinct, haven't you?
You
And
can.
Eccles people and
Yes, yeah. I mean, I
Peel
just
Green.
a lot of it was before I got a job as a photographer,
Yeah.
and I would just practice being a photographer, really. So I thought, being a shy, retiring type, I can't be shy, retiring, and be a press photographer. So I had to sort of dare myself to go and approach people and ask if I could photograph them. And it served me in good stead, but also gave me a really good record of an Eccles that's gone now.
I was quite touched by you used an image and you let me share it of the chap outside the charity shop, the street cleaner. And people
in the snow.
identified him, didn't they, after
Yes,
all those
yeah.
years?
Yeah, it's always nice.
I think that's a great personal touch to it, which you've captured so well in Eccles. haven't you?
Well, you've been good in trying to find the names of other people as well. I guess a lot of people aren't seeing them to know.
I'd love for those 2 children in Eccles Parish Church with the big box, the loaf of bread. I wish those had got one name got suggested.
Yeah, I think somebody suggested a girl, didn't they? When it's
I can't
obviously
remember. It's
a
typical,
lad.
but they're like brothers. If you've
Possibly.
seen that photograph, I've used it several times on Salford Media. There's 2 little boys, as I said earlier, in Eccles Parish Church with a big box. Please come forward. We'd love to see you and
you?
possibly recreate the photo. That would be
You're
nice,
going to
wouldn't
need a
it?
bigger box.
Yeah, you're gonna need the bigger kids. Books. You've done children's books as well, haven't you? Photographic books.
Yeah.
No, I've got to say this to Cam. His photo books, they made me laugh when I saw them. I don't mean laugh that way. The titles. What do you do in the week? My uncle's got a good camera. Have you shot anyone famous? There's no money in that game, son. Are these all quotes that have been said to you, I assume?
Certainly the first book, because I came home from a careers lesson one day and I said, we've had a careers lesson. I've told them I want to be a press photographer. And Mum said, photography, there's no money in that, son.
Yeah.
Sadly, she's proved to be right all these years later. But so that was the quote for the first book. Yeah. But I mean, so what you do in the week?
Yeah. Show them with the camera.
Well, these are the sort of books that. So yeah. So what
So self-depreciating. I love that.
People would sort of see me at a wedding, for example, on a Saturday.
Yeah.
Oh, professional photographer. Yes. Weddings, eh? What do you do in the week? Well, I'm still a bloody photographer in the week. So yeah, snaps. People would say, have you finished your snaps now?
Yeah.
Snaps?
Yeah,
I'm an artist. So
don't you know?
Don't know, darlings. Yeah. Yeah. And the portrait books.
These are absolutely.
Portrait.
I keep banging on about social history, but these are honestly just. These 77, I'd say 78, something like that. With these
for the years.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Not a bad judge.
Yeah, about 77. Again, as I say, when I was learning to be a photographer.
I know, but you've captured it so perfectly, haven't you? With
nice.
No, you haven't really. I think I said in an article about you, I compared you with Martin Parr, and it's I pray I know, but these are children, old lady. Look at that old lady, donkey stone on the step. And if you look close, there's a bottle of sterilised milk in the corner. I noticed that straight away.
And a Scotty dog.
Peeping over its shoulder, yeah.
Yeah.
These are absolutely fabulous. You went on nightclubs in Manchester as well in the punk period.
Yes.
Snapping away.
Yeah. I mean, I wasn't going. I mean, photographers these days work to themes.
Yeah.
I think that's why there's not been a lot of interest in these, because I've not shot a theme.
Yeah.
But the theme is the people
of
Eccles when I was growing up. So, just.
Are these still available?
Yes, yeah, they're available.
Tell the general public where you can get them from.
Well,
yeah.
Inevitably, obviously, they're from Amazon these days because they are self-published. But I mean, I'm sure Tony can give you a link at the end.
Yeah,
because my website is some complicated list of numbers and figures. But if you go onto that, you can find the photo book section. And that will take you to Amazon.
You've had one in Cafe Royale publications, haven't you, as well?
I was very pleased that
they're prestigious published now, aren't they? I'd have said.
They are, yes, yeah. Martin Parr is one example.
Yeah.
Of Daniel Meadows, another.
Phil Portis.
Phil Portis had several, I think.
Yeah. Oh, I like the photography, believe it or not. I do. I'm very enamoured with it. Yeah, this. You've also. I was going to ask you. You photographed. I know you hate the word celebrities, but Muhammad Ali. And was this when he was OK Magazine or Mail? Or was he subcontracting out?
It was a PR job for the Manchester Evening News.
Yeah.
When he had his Parkinson's, sadly, but he was opening a sort of sports bar in Manchester.
Yeah.
Accompanied by Max Clifford.
Yeah.
But I just. It's one of those occasions where you think that's Muhammad Ali standing in front of me. So I asked him for his autograph. I only ever asked for autographs of people that meant something to me. So I asked for his autograph, and with the Parkinson's, it took him a long time to write it, but he's dated it, and to Martin.
That's a treasure keepsake, that, isn't it?
Absolutely. I think it's on the flip side to Margaret Thatcher.
You photographed Thatcher, did you say that?
A couple of times, yeah. And again, I thought, that's Margaret Thatcher. I'll ask her for her autograph.
Did you really?
Yeah.
You got to draw the line on that one.
Well,
I might have said something abusive.
Doesn't matter what you think of her, but she's still a massive figure in history, isn't she? So,
Yeah, so was Hitler, but
yeah, not met him. So,
no. I like the photographs you've shown of when you were doing like trade fairs, and it so dates the time, doesn't it, with dolly birds draped over cars and things that are not, I could say things that I could not consider. Yeah.
I mean, it's bizarre that that kind of thing still goes on. Mostly for me, it was motorbike shows.
Right.
I haven't got the slightest interest in motorbikes, but I used to have to go around on an annual basis with 2 models and a list of motorbikes.
Hell, isn't it?
Kawasaki, Fuji, Hami, and which is that one? It's the red one. Right, girls. And they'd jump on and I'd take a picture, and then I would be immediately surrounded by 50 blokes with cameras.
Yeah.
I said, sorry, I've got the list, we've got to go.
Take the photo.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Do you miss that days?
not really. Not if I think about it, I do. But if I just carry on, we've progressed now. I've moved on. But yeah, there's nothing more exciting than press work.
Is anybody that likes a photograph? You haven't?
I've not done any good portraits of you.
That's true. Yeah.
Get you in the studio next week.
Shameful.
I don't know. I always remember the Manchester Evening News got a new photographer in, and I wanted that job, but I didn't get it. And the first thing that I think he did was to photograph an open heart transplant operation at Wythenshawe Hospital.
Right.
And I was so jealous. I want to do that. So, yeah, but other than that, no. I mean, I got a lot of people I didn't know. If they were on Coronation Street, I don't watch it, so I didn't know. I would get to
Mean nothing to me. Yeah.
I would get to first night parties and things. I believe so and so is here. Oh yes, which one is it? They'd have to be pointed out to me. I've been the world's worst paparazzi, that's for sure.
You still have your love for punk music, though, don't you?
Oh yeah, I love punk. Yeah.
Is it Exploited your favourite band?
Yeah, Exploited, UK Subs. In fact,
how old are they now? Charlie Harp? He must be 80, is it?
About 81, I think, something like that. 81, 82. He's very impressive. He'll come on stage with 4 cans of lager and neck the lot.
What a
So
guy.
if that's the key
like
to eternal life,
Bring on the
4
lager.
Stellas
Bring
for
on the
me,
lager.
please.
We've only got pies from Dave Hills. I love them. You live in France now, don't you?
I do. Yes.
I assume you enjoy it. What was the reason for the move? Just a nice lifestyle?
Leslie made me move. We went over.
Can explain Leslie's his wife.
Yeah, well, my living lover.
That's even better. Huh?
Yeah, she just said, did we fancy a change? And we did. And, to be realistic about it, the decline in photography had reached its, whatever the opposite of the nadir. Yeah.
Well, everyone's a photographer now, aren't they?
Everyone's a photographer now, yeah. My uncle's got a good camera, as one of those is still.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah, I thought.
Is it a more relaxed lifestyle?
Very, very, yeah. I was surprised I got up to actually come here this
I
afternoon.
was surprised that you turned up, actually. I said he won't be turning up. There you go.
With garlic breath.
Yeah, on a bike with the onions, shredded onions.
Maybe.
That's nice casual racism, isn't it? We like that on the show, we do. And you've exhibited in France. People are aware of your talents.
Yeah. Joy Division. And funnily enough, some of the Eccles shots, but with the context taken away, so that they were just portraits of people. And obviously to the French, they've got that extra social interest of being bloody foreigners, a lot of them.
Henri Cartier-Bresson. Is that what they say?
He'll never catch on.
Never catch on. What does he do now? Is it me?
Well,
finally-ish, your new book. Show the book.
The latest
Tell us
one.
about it.
Well,
it's all about merchandise.
Yeah, here comes the commercial break.
Continental
Continental 82.
Yeah.
This I like a winter project
Right.
because I can't go out and do the garden. So these books started from going back into the archive and compiling the collections. The Continental just happened to be a trip I made around America in 1982, North America. I bought Continental Airlines, hence the Continental,
Yes.
had a Visit USA pass, which was a couple of £100, and it meant you could fly anywhere in America. In fact, I finished one book of vouchers and they just gave me another one.
Oh.
And I went one day from Boston to Denver just to get to New York because I would get fed on the legs. And I made pen friends and
Pen friends, eh?
pen friends with pens in those days.
Yeah, of course.
So I compiled a choice of the pictures.
Yeah.
I saw it as my sort of Robert Frank trip or Gary Winogrand.
Yeah.
I mean, it's called A Road Trip Around America by Air. So, those guys did it with Chevys and thousands of miles under their belt. I just flew around America.
Great images, though, again, Martin. I love the black and white, honestly, I really do.
Yeah, well, I mean, at that stage, I couldn't afford colour. I'd just been made redundant, actually.
Right.
So I didn't have no money. So, but I had the trip already booked, so I sort of, went with it anyway.
Have you got many more photographs away you can dig out of your archive?
There's one set where I travelled around the world with a model.
Kept this one quiet. Go on.
Well, she's a 3-inch doll that I used to put in photographs.
They used that with gnomes, didn't they? Remember that?
Yeah. So she was called Moaning Minnie. She's still on the desk, actually. She still sits by the computer. So I just took her around the world and I would give her to people. And it was a fantastic icebreaker,
Well, it wouldn't it?
Yeah. And then take a picture of them. And then I remember making one little girl cry because I snatched it back off her.
Swine.
Yeah, terrible.
The book, where's it available from, Martin?
Again, the website will point you to Amazon, and there it is.
In all its glory.
Yep. So some nice shots of me as a 22-year-old.
I noticed on the back there's a few.
I had to Photoshop all the acne off.
Oh, they're great. Well, Martin, I'm afraid the time is up. I'll bugger off.
I shall gladly bugger off.
If you just hang on, you can have a pie, there's some bhajies, there's some fruit.
As riders go.
It's gone.
Well, thanks very much, Tony.
No, it's
very
a pleasure,
flattered that
Martin.
you invited me in.
No, I thought I'd admire your work. I always have been admired of your work. So no, get over. Right. On another note, last Sunday, we came to the Lads Club and it was the preview of Morrissey's new album, Makeup Is a Lie.
Oh, yes.
And it's held over 3 listening sessions, 2, 4 and 7, I believe it was. And as you can imagine, there was plenty of Morrissey fans, rockabillys, etc., all lining up to listen to the great man's warblings. I'm not going down that one. But we did a few snap interviews with them, gauging their views on Morrissey, the album, and what they would expect. So we're going to now, hopefully, Carl, if he was listening to me. Here today outside Salford's Lads Club for the launch of Morrissey's new album, Makeup Is a Lie. And I'm joined by one of his fans, Paul. What's brought you here today? Don't say the bus.
No, I walked. No, just intrigued to hear the music, to hear what the new stuff is like. I think lyrically, tremendous writer, tremendous performer. And just really intrigued to hear what the new stuff's going to be.
What do you think is the accounts for the enduring legacy of Morrissey for all these years?
I think he's got a bit of a unique place, really, in British music history. And I think really he's kind of like a bit of a musical Lowry, I guess. He sort of captures Salford and Manchester. He has a bit of a unflinching gaze, really, when it comes to describing the experience of growing up in a city like Salford or Manchester. And I think for me, partly there's a nostalgia of growing up here in the 80s and 90s, and that being a bit of a soundtrack. And as I say, just that ongoing kind of intrigue of what's the new stuff going to be like.
I'm joined by Neve, who's travelled from Warrington to purchase Morrissey's new album. Tell me, what is the attraction for Morrissey for you?
I don't know. I think I've always had like an affinity with the 80s, I guess. And I think my mum introduced me to the Smiths when I was about 13. So I think from then he's had me hooked. You know, his solo career, anything through the Smiths, I've just been loving it ever since I heard it.
He seems to be having a resurgence at the moment, doesn't he? I saw footage last night of the O2 Arena.
Yes. Yeah.
And he seems to be on top of his game again, to be honest, doesn't he? And yeah, he just keeps going on and on. Have you seen him live?
I've seen him 4 times, yeah.
Morrissey, that
Yeah,
is, not
yeah,
Smith.
that's
Too young,
Morrissey, too young for the
too young for the Smith.
Yeah.
So what you'd expecting from the album?
That classic was a charm, to be honest. I want to hear some of that classic crooner vibes. I'm here for I don't know, the singles that have been released, especially that Amazona cover from
Yeah,
Roxy
Roxy Music. Yeah.
He's got a poppy vibe to it, and I'm here for it. So
I'm looking forward to listening to the Lester Bangs one. Lester Bangs is one of my favourite artists. I just hope he doesn't murder him. If he's already dead. I'm delighted to be joined by George Bray,
Hello, hi.
Morrissey aficionado.
Apparently so, yes. I've seen him over 70 times, so I'm part of the club, I believe.
I think that qualifies you, doesn't it?
I hope so, yeah.
And you're writing books about him.
I am. I'm currently writing a book about his idols and influences. Basically, it covers Morrissey interviewing all his people that he's quoted or got influences from. And he interviews them and talks about, his influences from them and how they've brought him to life with his songs.
And you've travelled from Doncaster today.
I have, yes, for my sins, yes. I'm all the way from Doncaster.
So what is the attraction of Morrissey for you after all these years?
So I discovered Morrissey and the Smiths as a teenager, and what happened was, it was as a kind of, I don't know, I was a bit of a gawk, a bit of an outsider myself, I felt, in my local town, a bit different. So he spoke to me in so many words, very sort of poetic and very, sort of kind of, he spoke to you as a person, that what you wouldn't dare say in public sometimes, because I lived in a very sort of northern working class village state environment. So it's kind of like, it felt like, I spoke to him. I felt that this is my kind. This is I felt one with him. So yeah, it was kind of, and then what happens is those doors open then for other influences that he likes, and it broadens up kind of what you read and listen to, really. So yeah, it's just.
So what are you expecting of the new album?
Saviour. I'm hoping to get. Yeah, I'm hoping to be saved. No, I hope it just more the same, really. It's more the same. It's great that he's managed to get a contract, and we're actually now. You have Sire Records, and we're getting out in the wild now and getting his album released and getting it out to the fans, which it should be. He's, he writes personally, he writes for the fans, and it needs to be out there. He's a sort of poet laureate of our modern times. For me, he's a Shakespeare of our time. So he brings forward, what a lot of working class people are thinking. So I'm hoping he brings more the same, and I'm hoping his next album, which is already recorded, gets released this year too. Fingers crossed.
George, thanks ever so much.
Thank you.
A spokesman for Morrissey.
I do try. Thank you.
Jesus, wet. Okay. Oh, we go. Okay, we're back in the room apparently. Carrying on with the show, our 2 guests are Thick Richard, one of my favourites. He's going to make me laugh now, and Tony Kinsella.
Hi.
I think you both come under the very shady umbrella of stand-up comedian poets. Would be fair.
I will have that. Yeah.
Do you stand up with that? I'll start with you, Tony. You've been a stand-up comedian poet for 30 odd years?
Yeah, 25, 1998, 99 I started, yep. So getting on for 3 decades now.
You're quite prolific though, aren't you, with the musicals you've done?
Fair to say, yeah.
Tell us about the homages you've done to the Undertones and...
So I've been doing 10, 15-minute slots on stand-up open mic clubs for many, many years, occasionally paid ones, but not many. And I decided I wanted to start developing full-length shows. So my first one, I was a teacher for many years, and I did one about my 30 years of teaching. It ended up as 40. But I'm very passionate about my music, And I started to think about collaborating with musicians and doing full-length shows. So I saw the Undertones when I was an undergraduate in Leeds back in 1983, just before they split up. And then they reformed without Fergal Sharkey with a new lead singer in 99. I noticed they were playing in the same room at Leeds University where I'd seen them 30 years before.
Right.
So just out of curiosity, I went to watch. Driving back over the Pennines, I had the opening line of Teenage Kicks in my head, a teenage dream so hard to beat. And I thought, when I saw them in 1983, I was a teenager and they were teenagers. So I ended up writing this narrative about what had happened to me in the 35 years since those gigs. I did a lot of research on the Undertones about what had happened to them in that time. So I always do a couple of gigs around Manchester, Bolton. I thought, what I really want to do is go over to Derry, and it is Derry and not Londonderry, as far as the Undertones are concerned. And I got in touch with my son, who's a football journalist, and I said, I'm going over to Derry to take some photographs. I used to use PowerPoints as part of the show. And he said, get in touch with the Undertones. And I'm like, how the hell do I do that? And of course, I'm a dinosaur in terms of social media. Found an Undertones page on Facebook, put a little message up saying, if anybody knows the Undertones, I'm going to be doing a show about them. 2 days later, got a message from Caroline O'Neill, who's the wife of John O'Neill, who wrote Teenage Kicks. Yeah, John said he'll meet you in Derry when you come over. And it's like, what?
Simple as that.
And from there, it kind of escalated, and we ended up doing it in the theatre in Derry, and several of the Undertones came.
I know you've done several, like Kirsty McCall and the Shangri-Las. I love the Shangri-Las. I saw a T-shirt you had on. I thought, he's got a bit of taste.
Well, Morrissey was a big Shangri-Las fan. If you watch the biopic, Amy Winehouse kind of came through the leader of the pack and said, yeah. So, yeah, I've done the Shangri-Las, a show called Shangri-La La Land. I've done one about Bob Dylan's Blood on the Tracks album. I've done Dolores O'Reilly and Kirsty McCall. Yeah, quite. I've done one about the ska two-tone movement and went to Coventry to do it. I'm currently working on one about Shane McGowan called The Boy from the County Hell, which is just about to launch in about 3 weeks' time. So prolific is probably the right
apart
word.
from that, you're doing nothing.
Apart from that,
I love the title, Bonnie. Thinks if you tolerate this, your brain cells will be next.
my first poetry book.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was my very first one. Yeah.
I'm a sucker for catchy titles. I think you boys have got a link with Elvis Presley. Would that be right?
You're probably better on this, yeah.
Well, that's how I met you, wasn't it? Like,
It was,
yeah,
yeah.
those sort
Tell
of shows.
people about
Yeah.
Elvis, they may not know of the man.
Yeah.
The Bard of Bolton. It was, I saw him a couple of times on the telly when I was younger, and I didn't associate it with poetry really. It was just like a very rhythmical comedy, very deadpan.
Yeah.
And then it was a random gig where Kev Bates and an Egyptian improvised band, and I was sat talking to this bloke for quite a while afterwards, and he invited me to go to Bolton to do a gig, and I was like, yeah, go on then. And then when he gave me his number, it was Hovis, and I was like, bloody hell, that's him. We ended up, we were pretty close mates for about 2 years, and then he went and died, didn't he? It was selfish.
Yeah, not a good career move, that is it? Really?
No.
Not a bad one. His name's almost on par with yours, isn't it? Elvis Presley, Thick
I think it's the
Richard.
other way around.
I think it was his better, actually. I do think it's better.
Hovis Presley. Yeah.
Is that right that Elvis Presley, I've heard it attributed to many people as good thing go she went. Is that
yeah,
it?
that's his line.
There's a point called X, about his ex-girlfriend, yeah.
Yeah.
I've heard of, well, I'm glad it's attributed to him because I read about him. He seemed a strange character, didn't he? He didn't like the limelight. He'd shirk away from it. And strange man, talented man.
There's Edinburgh show where Stephen Fry had praised it and lots of celebrity people praised him.
Apparently Ben Elton was at that gig, and after the show he patted Ben Elton on the head and went, more Blackadder then. More Blackadder.
He still was doing really well. He was getting 5-star reviews and celebrity endorsements, and he couldn't stand as Matt said the limelight. I think he went to Ireland, but he just went AWOL, and his family didn't know where he was. And it was just he used to say that he only took gigs where he could get back to his own bed. Anyway, but an incredible talent.
You've been gigging for a good few years, haven't you? Then, without me.
97, I think. Late 97, I started. Yeah.
I've got to admit, again, I'm a bit of a latecomer to your stuff, and I'd heard the name, and I want the name to look like that. But I was looking through your stuff, and when I saw that Nobody Shouts, it was like a road to Damascus moment. It was like, wow, this is what we need, something anger and apathy in it, and then it was just kicking doors.
I was on tour with the Lovely Eggs. The other support band were AKDK.
Yeah.
And I was in the van with them, and they said, we've got to set off early one morning to get from London to somewhere else. There it is, available in limited edition, so not available that much.
And then from one gig to the next, we were going to, they had to stop off at a festival to do a quick turn. So they had an hour at the festival and they were like, you know, you can get up and do a bit with us if you want. So they're very kind of improvisational. They don't like knowing what each other's going to do a lot of the time. So they didn't know what I was going to do. And I had it in my head. I was running through stuff. There's an old poem that I had called Nobody Shouts, and there's a couple of others mixed into it. And then when we got there, it was a big full tent and people were up on each other's shoulders and tops off and stuff. And we did it and it just sort of fell out the speakers fully formed. And we were like, well, that's nice.
The number of people I've shared it to, said, look at this. Mike Duff can't praise that man highly enough. He's promised me that he's going to come on the show on I think it's the 18th of next month. But Mike, he's not one for praising people, I'd say. I've shown him, made up, and then with God hates Stockport. How can you not?
How can you not?
How can you not? Unless you live in Stockport, you're a bit of a...
I think they're the ones who hated the most, really.
Yeah, sorry, we don't live there, do we? Not far from it. So, do you boys ever perform on stage together?
Yeah, we've done loads of gigs together.
Yeah.
Oh,
In
yes.
the early days, it was, we were both really acolytes of Elvis, weren't we? So we ended up on a lot of gigs with Elvis Presley, which was always an experience, wasn't it? He'd do a poetry night in a pub where you had to stop the dance for half an hour while he did the poetry. He was real sort of eccentric in terms of the type of gigs that he put on. That kind of appealed to both of us, really, didn't it? In terms of our own sense of humour, yeah.
He was taking us up to all sorts of places because early days it was Thick Richard was a double act. It was me and my mate Bob, and he'd have a gig somewhere, and part of his show he'd just introduce us, and we'd go on and do a couple, and then he did us loads of favours, Hovis, like with shows and stuff. He took us everywhere.
Yeah.
Again, reading up, you supported the Fall, didn't you?
Only by accident, really.
That's the best way of it.
That's the way everybody supports the Fall. Yeah.
It happened twice on 2 tours.
Yeah.
There was
How was it?
they'd be on tour with 2 support bands, and then the support band would give us a ring and say, well, Marky Smith assaulted the other support band, and now we're getting in touch with people from different cities if they want to get up and do the slot. And I was like, well, absolutely not. If he walks into a room and sees me on stage filling the slot that's traditionally John Cooper Clarke's slot, I was like, he'd literally murder me, like not using the word literally out of context, like he would kill me. And they were like, no, don't worry, he turns up like 5 minutes before the show. You won't see it. And so I thought, I'll do it, because even if he does, you know, it's one of them where, like, now he's dead. I know so many people with stories about getting assaulted by Marky Smith. Like, you know, it'd be nice to have one of them in the bag, wouldn't it? But no, man.
Can I tell mine?
Oh, right, yeah.
I was at a party one night in Eccles, next door neighbours almost. And he was drunk, it's fair to say, drinking whiskey, and he was dead belligerent to everyone. And I was sat there, and I could feel him looking at me. And he said, I know you. I don't think he did. And he said, you're in the IRA. I said, no. I said, if I was Irish. And he went, no, you're IRA, you. I said, turn it in. Anyway, I was only joking, cocker. But I got the impression he'd push it until, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, as you say, quite really so, he assaults people. And, well, he did do.
I've heard he was very difficult with people. And then if he found out you were a fan of the Fall, that's when he'd strike. Like,
I thought you were going to say you missed a trick there. Being killed by Marky Smith would have been the career move, wouldn't it?
oh, God, yeah. Imagine
yeah. Or a suicide pact.
what could have been.
Could have been. So, Bard Company, that's another great name. Tell us a bit about them.
So me and 2 other poets, Jeff Ferrabri calls himself as a poet, and Ian Whiteley, we were quite regularly gigging together in poetry gigs, and we're all big music fans. And I can't remember who now, I think it was Ian, had the idea, why don't we try and make records using our poetry and turn them into lyrics? Mm-hmm. So there's a guy called John Kettle, who's part of a band called Merry Hell, used to be the Tansards, brilliant folk band in Wigan area, but he also runs the Wigan Music Project. So we made 4 albums now. You basically turn up with him, you pay him for an hour's work, ridiculously low fee for what he does for us. None of us are really musicians, and I can't really sing, but I can belt out a sort of punky or a sort of rap type thing. And he will then just pick up the acoustic guitar, put a tune to it, get the electric guitar and bass, put drums on electronically, And within about 3 hours or so, you've got a piece of music that didn't exist 3 hours ago that sounds like a band playing. And I always say we should call them John Kettle albums with Bad Company guesting because he does 85% of the work. But yeah, we've just got the fourth album due out, 21st Century Bullshit Detector, which is coming out in the next couple of weeks. And then we're going to be, doing a load of gigs to launch it.
Have you got much work on that?
Yeah, I've got a few gigs coming up and I've got a new book coming out. It should be out Easter, but Easter moves around, doesn't it? So it'll be out before summer.
I'll just mention
Like a
these.
plug gig.
These are two, Read 'em and Weep and Vaudevillian.
Vaudevillian.
Vaudevillian, yeah. Let's get the merch in. Get the merch in. We've got, a mutual friend with Johnny Green.
Yeah.
The late Johnny Green.
Yeah.
Would you care to tell the story?
Well, yeah, he nearly beat me up as well.
It's a
First time I met him.
here, isn't it?
First time I met him,
I'm starting to get quite angry.
I was backstage at a gig with John Cooper Clarke, and he was like, "Come to the dressing room." And so he walks in the dressing room. I walk in after him, just as Johnny Green comes onto the corridor. This is just going to be a list of me nearly getting assaulted by various famous people. But just as Johnny Green comes on, so he just sees me walking into his dressing room, and he was on me in seconds, and he had me by the scruff, and he's like, "Who's this fucking?" I can't say it, but. Yeah, John Cooper Clarke pulled him off. Pulled him off? I mean, they spent a lot of time together on tour, didn't they? Like, these things happen. Yeah, he stopped him from beating me up. And again, it's one of those, like, now he's died. I could have had a great story there. But
Yeah. That's a great, I got on so well with John. I've known him a long time. He's a lovely man. That's all I can say about him. But you've toured with so many people as well. I mean, I just look at your biography, your blogs, and I think, well, yeah, I didn't know you did stuff with them and this, that, and the other. The Lovely Eggs for a moment. They're a great band, aren't they?
oh, yeah, brilliant. Yeah, brilliant. They've sorted me out with some of the best gigs I've ever done. Yeah, phenomenal.
That poem, God Ache Stockport, how did the audience reaction to that? Is it mixed?
Again, I nearly got assaulted. There was one of the audience members, because there's a line in it about inbred children, and he thought I was calling his kids inbred, and then it turned out he wasn't even from Stockport, he was from Liverpool, but that's how offensive that poem is.
Yeah, across the board.
Yeah.
I found it hilarious.
I wrote it because my best mate's from Stockport, and I did it to piss him off. I mean, obviously it is
It worked.
a dreadful place, but
I've got a friend called Toby Haydock, who's a great stand-up, and he runs the XS Malarkey Club in Manchester.
Yeah.
He's toured all over the country doing stand-up. He's got quite a posh voice. He's from Ludlow in Shropshire. And he says, I can turn up anywhere and slag off that place. And everybody's like, yeah, you're right, mate, apart from Liverpool. He said, if he stands on stage with a posh accent and starts criticising Liverpool, that's his story, not mine. But he says that's the place where you've got to really walk on eggshells before you start slagging them off.
I'm not going down that road with him. BB6 Music. You've on there, weren't you?
Beat of the Day.
Beat of the
Yeah,
Day,
yeah.
You've been around, haven't you, really?
I've been around, yeah.
Been around a lot, mother. Yeah. What's it about with Kate Tempest as well?
Oh, I've not done a show with Kate for a while, but did a few shows with Kate. Brilliant,
Tell us about the puppets and the robot things. I love all that.
Yeah, I've always used puppets and stuff. It's because it's a very stripped down sort of format poetry, and it's like stand up. It feels like you've not got many options of things to mess around with. But like stand up comedy used to be very bizarre, and people used to use the stage in all sorts of ways, and now it's gone very sort of autobiographical, self-promotion sort of thing, which I think is a shame. But yeah, I've always liked sort of the kind of prop weirdness and stuff. Yeah, I built a whole robot out of rubbish because I've got a house full of crap that I've been collecting for years, and I've always thought I'm going to use this one day. I'm going to use it one day, and then I did, and I built this thing, and it writes AI poetry for me.
Brilliant. You have a job soon.
Yeah. All right.
The Raoul Moat one as well.
Raoul Moat. That was another good puppet.
That'd be howling me.
That was my kids' drum kit. They had a toy drum kit, and it broke. And I thought, if I pull that and then kind of stretch it over the face. But my girlfriend hates it, so Raoul's been retired a bit.
Has it? Oh, I like it.
Yeah.
Good old Raoul.
Good old Raoul. I did. Oh God, I did Lindisfarne Festival earlier this year. The bloke who put us on, Donald Jenkins, who I'm on with at the Waterside, at the Sale Waterside.
Yeah,
I'll be doing
was
the
it?
same with him on the 14th. Still raving in your 40s. Go and see that. He was like having a bit of a snigger before. He insisted that I did Raoul, even though he's a bit retired. And I was like, okay. And then just before I went on stage, he was like, yeah, Raoul Moat's brothers at the festival. And I was like, you're an arsehole. But he wasn't in the tent when I did that.
Did this
but-
lead to another thrashing? No.
No, it didn't, thank God. Yeah, all of these, it could have done. I need to stop talking about like getting murdered by.
Oh, no,
various
no, I
gigs.
don't know. One question, that it's name dropping this, obviously on my part. Johnny Clark, I do know him, and Gary. And both interviews, they cited their early influences as being a school teacher. Johnny Clark was saying about one, I've forgotten his name though, he had a glass eyes teacher, but that's nothing to do with it. He used to read poems out some dead aloud on Charge of the Light Brigade, get right into it. And Clarky said he loved all this, he was carried away by it. And Gary was telling me about one of his teachers, an Irish teacher, who instilled in him a love of poetry and literature, and they both harked back to that. Because I can remember I was about 7 or 8, we had a teacher at the Catholic school, Mr. Carline, and he, every other day, he'd read us a chapter out of Treasure Island. And I was so enamored, he put all the theatricals into it, he was really into it. And the book, I was like so enamored. I had to join the library so I could get the book, because I couldn't wait for him to, Treasure Island. I'd been 20 by the time he'd have finished. Yeah, but did you have any school teachers who
I was just going to say, in relation to what you're saying there,
Yeah.
Tony, there's a whole load of people who went into stand-up comedy from a teaching background.
Right.
You go back to Jim Bowen and Frank Skinner, Romy Ranganathan at the moment,
Right.
Greg Davis.
Now, that
But,
personally, did you?
Yeah, I mean, I remember a teacher called Mr. Plummer, and I ended up graduating in English and becoming an English teacher. So I was quite inspired by him. But my lasting memory of him, we used to have 100% coursework for what was called O-level, which was before GCSE.
Did you go to Dallasell?
I was at the LSL, yeah.
I went
yeah,
there.
Yeah, I know, yeah. We quite
I know that.
But, yeah. But yeah, on the 100% coursework, there was one lad who was caught doing his coursework in registration, bearing in mind it's counted towards your final degree. The form teacher took it off him and must have told Mr. Plummer, the English teacher, came walking into the class, didn't look at anybody, put his feet up on a chair, then looked at him and said, "Has your dad promised you a bike if you fail?" And I thought,
If you fail.
the timing of that, the timing of that, the way the whole class was falling about laughing. So I was very inspired by him in all sorts of ways. What was really weird, I started working for the AQA exam board. So
Right.
you turn up for these conferences where you had to go through the marking process. There's my English teacher sitting across the table. So it was really weird to be on like an equal footing. We were both there for the same reason.
They call you sir.
I actually introduced myself. He'd completely forgotten me. I was obviously really memorable people. But yeah, that was a weird experience.
Jerry Sadowitz.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that was an interesting gig.
I loved him.
Oh, he's such a nice bloke. Like,
Magician,
yeah. I mean,
foul mouth comedian.
So yeah. Again, it was like we were backstage, and I said to him, I was like, I've never seen him actually live. Like, I've only ever seen the clips on telly and stuff. And there's nothing on the internet. He takes everything, gets everyone to take stuff down. And I was like, I'm really actually looking forward to watching your show. And he was like, "You're not watching it." And I was like, "Oh," and he's like, "I don't let any other acts watch the
Okay,
show
just stay
because
up.
I'm sick of getting material stuff."
Yeah, yeah.
And he's like, "Honestly, if I see you in the
So-
audience, I'm gonna." And I was like, "Oh God!" I was like, "Right, okay." I went. Yeah, and so it was the first night. One of a member of the audience had a heart attack, which he said. I think they said later was from laughing. But I didn't see it. I didn't see any of it. You got to respect somebody like that, really, isn't it?
Yeah,
But he was so
yeah.
nice. He was such a polite bloke. Until I said I was going to watch his show,
Yeah.
and then I was like, "Ooh."
Don't say he got beat up.
"No, I didn't. No. If I'd watched the show, I would have.
True.
I will have done."
He was
Yeah.
on telly for a while, wasn't he? Sadowitz?
Yeah, he was, yeah.
Late
Quite a bit. I
night
remember it,
telly,
like,
wasn't it?
Early 90s.
That's when I got introduced to it. I thought, well, I like this guy. He's off the kilter, and he just, he's different. I like him. He's committed his own
He had a
social.
great line when he does a card trick and you
Yeah.
don't get rid of that card, but he didn't used to say, "Let's lose that card." I'm not going to swear, but he'd say, "Right, that card's going to F off now." He's like, just using that phrase, and he didn't say F. Using that phrase was basically a magic trick. He was brilliant. Yeah, well, it's still going, isn't it, as far as I know?
Yeah.
It's been cancelled a few times, but yeah.
Have you got any music, comical heroes? And of such. I used to love
Vivian
Frank Lam.
Sancho is
Oh,
my main
yeah,
one.
yeah.
Great one.
Um,
Oh, he's had
Yeah.
all his albums. Bonzo Dog,
Bonzo
Dalton
Dog's
Granny's
and then-
Greenhouse Gorilla.
Rollinson's End.
Yeah, yeah, oh, yeah.
Like it's
That is,
just endlessly brilliant. You know, you can
just listen to it anywhere, can't you?
Yeah, it's like
yeah.
looking at a Mandelbrot set. It just gets deeper and deeper and deeper. It's amazing. And there's so many comedians and poets I know who got no idea about it, and I'm like, you got to listen to it. It's like incredible. It's
Oh,
just the
yeah,
best thing.
About 1971, I think, wasn't it? That Rawlinson, because it was on the radio as well, wasn't it?
Yeah,
The
you think
radio
on the John
show.
Peel show up until
Yeah.
about 1987 or something. It went on for years.
I
Yeah.
can certainly listen to the whole thing, wait 2 minutes and listen again and find loads of jokes that I missed the first time.
Yeah.
It was just incredibly
Was it
creative.
Scrotum, the wrinkled?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Famous line,
The wrinkled
yeah.
retainer.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, well, time was nearly beaten us. It's not quite yet. Are you going to give us a couple of numbers, man, before we go?
Yeah. No, I did.
Good. I'd just like to say next week we've got on the lady from Sam Kelly from the Save the Victoria Theatre Group in Salford. Now, the Victoria Theatre was a beautiful, it's derelict now, Victorian music hall cinema owned by Henry Irving, the Shakespearean actor. I filmed in there about 15 years ago, and it's incredible. There's all these beautiful plasterwork reliefs. It's been vandalised, flooded, and there's a campaign to retain it, keep it open, so they should. I think Historic England are involved. So she's going to come on the show and talk to us about that. And there's another chap, well, I'm not going to say his name, he'll be on, because I've forgotten it. No. Matt, could you do us a number?
Yeah,
do
all
what
right.
you want, do what you
You
want.
put me over here, haven't you?
Yeah,
Is that live? Is it working?
Yeah,
A lot of
yeah.
snide people turn up to my gigs and they buy merch with old £10 notes. It happens loads, and I don't realise till I get home and account through the money, and it's an old paper note. And so I draw over Lizzie's face with crayons and turn her into a skeleton and make bottle labels out of it. And then on the inside, it's got "The Queen is Dead" written in green.
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, and there is a light that does go out. But you can auction that off on your auction.
Can
if
we
you
really?
like.
Have you
Yeah.
said that's not treason before they film you doing it?
Oh, is it treasonous? Oh, yeah, it might be treasonous, eh? Oh, well. Can you still get hung for that?
It's good about that.
That's exactly about that.
When I finish the special
Yeah.
mixture inside, you can auction that off.
Brilliant.
But it's bidding starts at 20 quid because obviously it was worth 10
Yeah,
quid
well,
before
for
I
the
made
bottle, yeah.
the bloody thing.
Well, plug that.
But yeah, this is I've never done this before live, but this is written in the style of Morrissey because we're in the written in the style of Morrissey when Morrissey could still write lyrics. I think it's fair to say. I think of Morrissey like Father Christmas. There's a very significant period of my life where Father Christmas meant a great deal to me, only for me to grow older and realise that he didn't actually exist. But I'll still drag a dead tree into my house every year and have a party and wave the tree around my head. Because, you know, memories last, don't they? So there's loads of little intricate little Morrissey writing styles in this, if you've ever bothered paying a lot of attention to his writing. It's called Jennifer, Jennifer. Jennifer, Jennifer, do you remember when there was a happier time? When making you smile was as simple as taking a bicycle off of a child. Oh, Jenny, stop counting the cracks in the ceiling and find some money to earn. And give us a smile, you miserable trollop. It isn't the end of the world. Oh, Jennifer, Jennifer, do you remember your party when nobody came? Alone in no clothes but a pair of headphones, so quiet the neighbours complained. Singing the chorus instead of the verse to a boy with a thorn in his side, and swinging your dressing gown rope round your head like a bunch of gladioli. Oh, Jennifer, Jennifer, do you remember when there was a happier time? Before he decided to side with the right and the light that would never go out died. Oh, Jenny, give over. Everyone knows you're too lazy to take your own life. And the monochrome set are a bit like the Smiths if you really squint your eyes. Oh, Jennifer, Jennifer, do you remember the terrible, terrible weather? Your neck was so large you had to use 2 different scarves tied together. I'll do one more.
Please.
We've got time for one more.
Yeah, we got time. Good.
Cheers. This is, I'll just push this leaflet.
Yeah.
I forgot this was in here. I picked this up from Manchester Central Library a while back. It's for the Manchester and Lancashire Family History Society, and they decided to go with the acronym MILFs. So obviously I was intrigued.
attracted, yeah.
And I looked into it. I still don't really know what it is that they do, but I can assure you their name is very misleading. Milts. That's a real leaflet. Like, I'm not, taking the piss. This is a poem called Leftover Soup. I worked for years in kitchens, and all the little scrappy bits of food that, you think we'd throw in the bin. We don't throw them in the bin. We put it in a big pot, we blend it, then we boil it, and then we sell it to you as soup. And that's what soup is. But whenever you're creating anything, you end up with waste produce. And when you're writing stuff, the waste that you end up with is all of the useless rhymes and, useless lines that just get chopped out in the editing process because they don't serve any purpose. But for years of writing this stuff, the trouble with that kind of waste is you can't just throw it in the bin. It stays floating around in your head forever waiting to be used, and it never will. So after years of writing this is all formed into its own thing. Like, I didn't consciously write this, it just happened. And that's why it's called Leftover Soup. And as you're listening to this, I need you to bear in mind, like, this is rubbish. Like, there's no artistic nutritional value to this whatsoever. It's just crap. Leftover soup. There is a tube of chewed food that moves through you, and once used, you will push it away like a length of filthy spine with a face and a tail like a snake, and you could name it and cradle it like you would do a baby, but instead you just flush the chain and send it off on its way down the drain and never think about it ever again. Bum trumpet with a kick like a drum kit, the loud, round, brown sound, and everyone enjoys it. Government cutbacks where you can stuff that right up your butt crack. I'm looking at new beginnings. I've got a nutsack like a net bag with nothing but 2 satsumas in it. Now, that's a quality line, folks, and I want you to all appreciate for a moment how heartbreaking it is to write something like that and then find yourself in the editing process thinking, am I honestly going to write a poem about government cutbacks that somehow incorporates such a detailed description of my scrotum? And the answer is always no. First of all, there aren't enough hours in the day to write such a thing. And secondly, there isn't an audience for it, according to the Arts Council. Yeah, that was their response. But that is one of my favourite lines, so I'm going to do a quick rewind selector on that one. Government cutbacks where you can stuff that right up your butt crack. I'm looking at new beginnings. I've got a nutsack like a net bag with nothing but 2 satsumas in it. Mwah! Singing a song so strong you can't fight it. I'm smoking a bong so long I can't light it. I feel like the king of Hong Kong with a mind that must weigh 100 tons. It's not right that someone should go on for so long as they're writing this stream of nonsenseness, the scream of unconsciousness, the dream that you can still see when the lights turn on and you wake up in that middle of the night with the you being framed of mind, and you land flat-faced on a birthday cake, and your hair's on fire, and your glasses break, and your tooth comes loose, and you lose a shoe. Bad news is nothing new to you. I went on a Hindu in Honolulu with Han Solo and Lando a long time ago in a galaxy a Milky Way away. I broke into your house and left a box of milk tray on your couch because I'm a secret lemonade drinker, professional sweetie eater. Drips like droplets, pop it in your mouth, it melts like chocolate, spit it back out. It's a luxury, it's a little treat, it's sugary and it's sickly sweet. You stick to me, I'll stick to you and you stick to me. A syrupy gloop of soupy sick lem sissay, sip 6 lem sips, quick with the lipstick still stuck to the side of the cup and that card trick flipped into drug this, but it doesn't matter if I get it wrong because it's rubbish. Honestly, you can just pick it up from anywhere. The sunshine hides behind the grey. The shoes shine black on the minstrel's face whose white gloves typed up the football chant about the football fan who only knelt down to tie his laces and wound up hounded by the national papers. You stared at the sun for too long when you were young, and now you're a racist. I'm in trouble. I've ended up in a throuple with an elderly couple who look like Paul and Barry Chuckle. It's all to me, to you, to me, creaking on the rubber bed sheets. Excuse me while I take out my teeth. I can't get no sleep. I won't do that bit, it's boring. The jigsaw brickwork tessellates like teeth in neat formation. The grey alleyways lattice like the self-portrait by Francis Bacon. The priest says, let us pray, and then feasts and praise upon his congregation. He was once on Songs of Praise back in the 80s with his cape on. He taped it, but technology's since changed, and now it's long gone. The VHS replaced them, and that bit's boring. Do you ever dance with a skinhead in the pale moonlight? It's a lovely line, isn't it? But like, you know, where does that fit? It's not going to go with anything. You'll like this bit. John Terry sucks a cherry from Mary Berry's hairy belly button. She's just a gelatin-based skeleton with a Louis Vuitton stoma bag on. Jason Statham and Jason Status sing Chasing Pavements while David Jason falls through the bar and shatters his hip like an antique vase, man. It had me in bits. It's the UK's favourite comedy clip, as voted for by the viewers of Dave. There once was a girl called Judy Finnegan. Her husband had sticky fingers, but the wine he stole turned into vinegar, and now Tesco still won't let him back in again. Begin again. I won't begin again, because otherwise it ends up on an endless loop, but that's what the inside of my head sounds like all the time. Cheers.
Oh, what did I say? I just, Matt, honestly, incredible. I was just, oh,
Thank you very much.
oh
Just
great.
upset that he's copied my style.
Oh, here we go.
Sorry,
So-
Tony.
That's the end of the show, more or less. I'd just like to thank Matt and so Steve, Tony, call it what you will. And this, well, I'm going to bid for it once he's finished it. I've just, I've had a great afternoon, honestly.
Put the light up. Put the light up. Ta-da.
The Queen is dead inside. The Queen is dead on that £10 note. We want bids over 20 quid at least. You're getting a piece of rock and roll history, aren't you? And
There's even a little blood stain on the £20 note where somebody's used it to
Oh, yeah.
poof up Coca-Cola Lane. Yeah.
The Smiths room, it just takes too much explaining when people watch it.
yeah. So get bidding, please, please, please. And thanks for watching. We'll be back next week. I can't promise it'll be as good as this. Nothing can top this one. So thanks for watching. Any complaints, don't mind with me.
If you're going to buy any books or anything, get
Yeah.
in touch with us
Yeah, that's
directly.
right.
Don't get them through the
Give the money,
publishers.
give the money
otherwise,
to this man. Was it your website page and all that? Facebook, go on there, Captain.
Yeah, Facebook or
On Facebook,
Instagram,
look
one
up
of
the
those
man.
things. Yeah.
I stuff I have. I've paid, seriously. Matt,
Thanks very much.
fantastic.
Cheers,
Thanks for
thank
coming
you.
on. Cheers, thank you.